comes when the government holds its purse strings too tightly. Could cutting too deeply into public spending choke off the very engine of progress? That is exactly the warning issued this week by Professor Peter Quartey, who cautioned that excessive expenditure cuts may do more harm than good to the economy. Renowned Ghanaian economist and former director of ISSER, Professor Quartey emphasized that while fiscal discipline is important, going overboard with cuts can slow growth, block investment, and weaken public services. In his view, a deviation of about 5% from budgeted expenditure is acceptable within prudent limits, but anything beyond that risks constraining economic activity. He warned further that austerity alone does not guarantee efficiency. In fact, cutting too aggressively could lead to arrears, delays in funding essential services, or withheld support to local institutions like municipal assemblies. To understand his concern, consider the numbers. According to the Bank of Ghana's September 2025 Monetary Policy Report, government spending in the first 7 months stood at 131.1 billion Ghana cedis, representing 9.4% of GDP, below the budget target of 152.6 billion Ghana cedis, that is of about 10.9% of GDP. That shortfall, about 14.1% relative to target, is evidence of tighter fiscal controls and cuts. Yet, despite the cuts-back, spending still rose year-on-year by 9.3%, showing that the government has not frozen all outlays. But the gap raises questions about which areas are being pared back. Professor Quartey argues that when certain critical sectors are starved of funds, be it for infrastructure, waste management, local governance, or environment projects, the effects are visible. Street lights go out, drainage systems stall, pollution rises. This debate over fiscal discipline is not unique to Ghana. Across many nations, especially those wrestling with debt burdens, governments face tough choices: cut spending to shore up finances, or maintain spending to support good and service delivery. In Ghana's case, the stakes are high. Being too frugal may undermine development, but being too loose may threaten macro stability. As Ghana proceeds with reforms and debt restructuring measures,